social media, it's, you know, a shortened version of a few words, not always video, and I think that's where some of the misunderstanding can happen. But I also think that people that are participating in social media aren't always paying attention. They're not even reading the story that you posted and then just taking it off on their own. It's kind of scary for us because accuracy is really important.
The concept of news travels faster through media, sometimes leaving stories to get misunderstood, which, as Marsha Lenz says, can be kind of scary. So we asked students just where they get their news information from.
I prefer to get my news on social media. It's a lot easier, and I'm able to choose what types of news I want to see on my timeline.
I use Twitter a lot whenever I want new information, because it's so fast, it's breaking, and it helps me keep up to date with every single person around.
The internet, usually.
Why the internet?
Because it's fast and I can choose what stories I want to read. I don't have to just watch whatever's on.
We want information, but more than that, we want it quickly, says an article from CNN called "In Today's Warp Speed World, Online Missteps Spread Faster Than Ever." Within the article, CNN's Todd Leopold interviewed science writer James Gleick, who traced the increasing speed of society in his book, Faster. Gleick says, "Wrong or right, speed is exciting." This could be affecting the relationship between the sender and receiver. People want their news and they want it fast. The faster the news, the more persuasive it will be. This is an example of the diffusion theory, which is defined as the interaction between the person who sends the message and the person who receives the message. This often fluctuates with Len's code of ethics.
Was the access of personal profiles and photos. So if someone was involved in a crime or involved in a car wreck, you know, we could look up that person and get photos off their Facebook page, and then we went, well, wait a minute, you know, some people were grabbing those photos, and yes, they're public, but there's that empathy part about, would their family, after they just died in a car accident, want us to grab some ugly photo that they put on Facebook and have that broadcast around? So we pulled back and said, look, we have to have kind of our code of ethics working with the social media process as well as with our broadcasting.
The Code of Ethics serves as an obligation for news anchors, producers, and really anyone involved in the media.
The Society of Professional Journalists Code of Ethics is a statement of abiding principles, supported by additional explanations and position papers that address changing journalistic practices. It is not a set of rules, rather a guide that encourages all who engage in journalism to take responsibility for the information they provide, regardless of medium.
However, this is not the only thing that affects what they report. Then people, like Lenz, have a social responsibility to report the truth and the necessities for society, even if it's not good news.
Social responsibility theory is defined as the media's obligation to society to maintain high standards of truth, accuracy, objectivity, and balance.
So I always kind of put myself in that place and that's what kind of regulates me on how far I go with something and how I can interject compassion in the reporting that I'm doing and balance the need to know, the public need to know, and the person or family being affected by the story.
It's faster, it's easier, and it seems more reliable just because it's continuously being updated versus like newspapers. They come out daily, but online you can get stuff every hour or two.
And why do you think people prefer to get their news via social media?
It's more convenient. They don't have to tune to a TV to do it, and it just appears easily on their timeline, and they give just a small little description, and if you're interested in it, then you can click it instead of having to have it be like an entire story that you have to read. Like you have the option of being able to read it if you want to.
In the future, people will receive their news from social media and internet sites, making newspapers and broadcast news obsolete. Therefore, it is of the utmost importance for the public to understand that not everything on social media is reliable.